and welcome back to Share Your Truth. Today our topic is purpose versus popularity.
I'm Takoya.
I'm Jasmine.
I'm Ika Beans.
I'm Candice B.
I'm Triana.
I'm Raquel.
I'm Bridget Marie. This topic is so important, I believe, because I believe that if you don't know your purpose, you need to ask God about your purpose, because a lot of people don't know what their purpose is. And if you don't know your purpose, what are you doing, basically? Like, what are you living for? What's driving you if you don't know what your purpose is? Like, are you just going day by day? Like, it's a lot of questions that go into finding what your purpose is. And your purpose is not just one thing. That's first of all. It's not just I'm narrowed down to this. Like, my purpose is just being a mother or just being a wife. That's not it. It's bigger than that. Mm-hmm. So once you figure out, like, I know a part of my purpose is women empowerment. So I know that every day I wake up, I empower women on a day-to-day basis, like Monday through Sunday. Like, I literally wake up and I have them on my mind. I have women on my mind. Like, I need to encourage somebody. I need to give them something. And then on the popular side, I never wanted to be popular. I wanted to be known. I don't want to be I don't need you to, like, I never wanted to be so, like, big to where, like, I had to have security around me, or I had to have, like, oh, I can't go to the grocery store, like, somebody running up to me. I don't want that. Like, I never wanted that. But to know who I am and to know what I do, that's what I wanted. So popular wasn't never my goal. I mean, people just grasp, like, just adapted to me. Not adapted. They gravitated to me. It wasn't nothing. I mean, clearly it's something I did, but it wasn't on purpose. Mm-hmm. So I always, and I didn't know my purpose my whole life. I've probably only known my purpose for the last 5 years. Let's say 5, maybe like 7. And once I realized what God had called me to, and I couldn't want to run away from it, because I wasn't ever the type of girl who, like, said I didn't like girls. I wasn't never that girl, but I was the one that said I didn't like people. I like made it general. I don't like everybody, you know. So it wasn't just women, it wasn't just men. And then once God showed me you are supposed to be pouring into women, I was like, okay, I gotta stop saying I don't like people. And then, but you gotta know your purpose. That was my whole spiel, was just to say you have to know your purpose, and you have to know your purpose over being popular. Like, don't just do things to be popular, because guess what? It's gonna go out of style. Your purpose ain't never gonna go out of style. So,
and the popular part for me, we be popular without knowing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a popular person in school. Right. Without me doing anything. Exactly. Just being myself. Like, I was just popular. Right. So, like, sometimes people want to be popular so much to where they pick up certain things just to be popular. Right. So, but you could tell, like, you popular as a kid. All the way up. Because if you weren't popular when you was a kid, you're not a popular adult. You really doing it for the clout, kind of. Pretty much. Yes. Like, a person that's popular is a popular person. They popping. Their personality is something that gravitates to people. People gravitate to them without them knowing. So if you're not a popular person, that's not really your personality. You really the kind that stand in the back and really just sit back and just, but then once you see that shy person come to the front, you be like,
Is that a good thing?
It might be, because you might be finding yourself, or you might have been a child that was scared and intimidated. You know what I'm saying? And now you're coming out, so it's like you don't really. That's why I try not to judge people when they going through a stage of finding themselves, because you might be really just this person. You just was probably scared to give it at a certain point. So, like, your purpose really and that's what I was gonna ask you, like, how you know your purpose? Like do you get a feeling like this is your purpose? Or
I feel like God showed, like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, he told me, like, this is what you're supposed to do. Because everything that I do is centered around women empowerment. It don't have, like, share your truth. women empowerment. The conference yesterday, women empowerment. Be Inspired Daily is women empowerment, but it can be generalized. Yeah. Like everything my hair business, women empowerment. Even though it's just with hair, when I talk to you, I'm going to empower you. Right. You get what I'm saying? All I got to do is just talk. Like that's it. Every single thing I do is surrounded by that.
So that's how you knew.
That's how I knew, and then it gave me a sort of like a fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm not doing this, then I feel like off. Like like the daily inspirations. If I don't send it one day, which is rare, but it happens, I be like, God, and God be like, somebody missed it today. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I think sometimes your purpose is something that you love to do. Something that you love to do, something that energizes you, something that lights a flame within you. Sometimes people don't hear God say, hey, this is your purpose. Yeah. But it's like, for me, my whole life, I always gave love out. I always was a hugger. Even as a child, Bridget mad, because when we was children, I'd be like, I love you, Bridget. I don't love nobody but my family. First of all, I still love you. This is an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old argument. Okay, period. I love you. I don't love nobody but my mom and daddy. Well, whatever, I love you anyway, Bridget. Why you always gotta hug me? I just was a hugger. That's just who I was. Yeah, get your life. And look at you now. Hug, right.
Bridget, give me a hug.
Right, why you gotta bang on her? But anyway, so for me, it always was giving love to people, always making people feel better. And it wasn't even an intentional thing like, ooh, she looked like she needs some help, let me inspire her. It was always like, I see something in you. And then God always drew me, even as a young child, to people with nasty attitudes. Like the people that most people want to approach, for some reason, it's like something that draws me to them, and I'm breaking them down piece by piece. And like God, as I got older, He started showing me like, okay, your purpose is not only just an intercessor, your purpose is not just to give love, but your purpose is to really be a ball of encouragement and to uplift people out of their situation. So that's how I found my purpose. And in my purpose, it's not about popularity for me. Like, because I've seen situations where people do things to get their name out there and do things like just to get the likes or the follows. And I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I do crazy stuff anyway. If y'all follow me, sometimes I just goof off. But it's like, I'm not going to sell myself short. I'm not going to make a literal fool out of myself to get the exposure, to get the limelight. And that's what's going on in our, I would say, in our what's the word? Like in our time, in our society. Like people are going up and slapping their mama and putting it up on Instagram and Facebook and all of that just to get the likes. And then later on, after they got the likes or whatever, then you're seeing they're talking about something that they want some attention about. I don't know if y'all follow that, but it's been crazy stuff going on. I'm just like, wow, like just walk in your purpose and be who you are, and you're going to attract who you need to attract.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Period. But I think a lot of people, battle with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people battle with wanting to be popular, want to fit in, want to do the whole everything that everybody else is doing instead of following a purpose or even having the time to themselves to find a purpose. Because some people don't have the time, like dedicated to themselves to find. Because I feel like you have to be in solitude to find your purpose.
You definitely do.
That's what I was going to say. You have to know your purpose. I think you have to like actively seek it for it. Like constantly asking and just looking for it, your purpose. Because if you're not trying to be aware of it, I don't think it's just like going to fall into it, I think.
But then you go back to the question you asked yesterday at the conference, what are you known for?
True.
And in that, people can find their purpose. I have my mom. Like my mom always cooking for people. My mom always bring people in. I mean, whether my friends had their hair done or not, when they come over the house, they was leaving with their hair done. And my mom was like, I don't know. She has said someday, like, I don't know my purpose. And somebody was like, you don't know your purpose. Like, this is what you do. Like, you feed people, you give them hope, and you make them feel beautiful when they come into your atmosphere. So I think a lot of times in your purpose, it's what you're known for. Like, what they calling you for.
That's what's up.
What are they hitting you up for? And then that's in your purpose. And you don't have to feel It's something you could do with your eyes closed. It's something that you can do and not get paid for.
Right. It just comes naturally. Right. Like something you don't have to, excuse me, force. I do believe like what Candace was saying, as far as like actively seek it. But I think with that, because for me, I believe that I always, or to a certain extent, walked in purpose without even knowing. Because I was just always that friend that was like always there, smiling, need to talk to me, I'm here, give advice. And then as I started to grow my connection with God, prayer, I became an intercessor. Like that started to take way. And I just tapped into it without even knowing like this is what God wants me to do. But once I was aware, I did everything that I needed to do to strengthen, myself in that area and to actively seek Him, His Word, and to try and walk in my purpose, like in alignment. But with popularity, with me, I feel like I was never the popular kid. I was just like the unpopular kid trying to hang out with the popular kids, like, and that worked out for me. She's like, I mean, like, I didn't do crazy things to try and fit in, or it was just me being myself. Like, yeah, I was shy. I was that shy kid, and I was reserved. But it's like, once I got comfortable with you, then my I became after that. You see me joke around, laugh, whatever like that. But it worked out. It's like, okay, she said it worked out.
Another interesting thing to me that I would notice is like you can be so caught up in the popularity, let's say, right? Say you so caught up in that because it's working for you, and you can be so stuck in that you actually miss your purpose because you don't want to come from that popularity, you don't want to come from that high place that you're at, and you'll totally miss out your purpose, and you probably think you in your purpose because everything is looking so good from up top, like, oh, it's natural, or everyone likes me, I must be doing something right. But that's why I said you have to actually seek for it to know, like, okay, although I'm doing this and it's working for me, I'm happy with it, but am I truly doing what I'm called to do? Or if I'm just doing something that's bringing the attention that I like. We can already be in a place of popularity and get so caught into it that we miss our purpose.
That's good.
That is good.
That's real good. Because I don't know my purpose. I think I do, but I don't know if it's really what it is. I like giving back. Giving back is like something that I really, really, really enjoy. Like it put a flame up under me. I don't care if I'm giving out clothes. I be like, that felt good, But I also feel like a part of like breaking generational curses and making it okay, is one of my purposes too. You get what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of things that I post unconsciously, just something for myself, and I touch a lot of people. And it's like, I didn't really do this for y'all. I did it for myself because I tell people, I be inspiring while inspiring myself. Like, I really didn't post that to inspire you. I posted that to inspire myself, but just so happened it touched a lot of people. So a lot of times, like, I'm gonna give y'all a scenario today. Last week or this week, Friday, I went to the funeral, and there was a girl there who was like, she told me that I used to bully her. Like, she was like, you made my childhood like horrible, whatever, right? And so she told it to my mom. And so my mom was like, Mika, like, whoop the whoop just told me, and they all standing right there. And so I was in the midst of leaving, but when I left, she stayed on my mind. Like, I just was like, dang, that's messed up. Like, like, that's cold. Like, so she hit me up on Instagram, like, how you could just put a little heart, for a little thing. So I hit her up, and I was like, I just want to apologize to you or whatever for doing, So I basically gave her a backstory on my life and why that I was the way that I was. So I shared it on Facebook. Like, I didn't put her name, I didn't put nothing. I crossed her out, and I was like, I just wanted to share this because what I did to her growing up, you know what I'm saying? I was unconscious of it. You know what I'm saying? I was doing what I knew to do. You know what I'm saying? So she forgave me and all of that. So after I put it on Facebook, a lot of people like, oh my God, like, I'm about to reach out to this one girl. Like, I really, so a lot of people was like really texting me and really, but I feel like that I am the person to put things out there to break your thinking or to get you deterred of the way that you really probably feel and always felt your whole life, So after that, my homeboy called and he like, and this how you getting at me. This all happened today. Why the F you putting that on social media? And I'm like, what? He like, that was too much. Mind you, we don't even have a social media. I'm like, how you even know what I post? Like 4 people sent there with group. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm trying to understand. I said, if they got anything negative out of that post, it wasn't for them.
Right.
I'm not for them.
Right.
I said, because I got a lot of feedback on how it helped them, how it opened their eyes to see something. So if the 4 people who texted to you and pulled something negative out of it, I'm sorry. I'm just not for them. Tell them to block me. Tell them to unfollow me.
Right.
Cause I don't know, and I'm not, and I wasn't doing it for popularity.
Right.
I was doing it more to just shed light on how hurt people.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That was my purpose of it, but it kind of blew up in my face, kind of more so like you doing it for popularity, and I'm like, I'm already popular. I've been popular. I've been popular before social media. Before social media, in real life, I've been popular. You get what I'm saying? So I had to let him understand that too. I've been popping. Before the likes and before the comments, I've always been popping.
Right.
That's just me. So don't come at me with the whole you trying to be popular and you doing this for a like.
Right.
I've been doing, you get what I'm saying? So sometimes your purpose could come as a curse to people. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or some people may take your purpose as a curse, and I was beating myself up. I was crying like, am I trying to be popular? Now I'm questioning myself.
Right.
And off of this one person calling me, telling me this, and now I'm like questioning myself, like, but no, I had to check myself. I had to look in the mirror and check myself, because those 4 people who sent it to you, they not on my mental.
Right.
They're not the people I'm trying to reach.
I don't even see how you could get nothing negative from them.
I didn't. So everybody like, no, like, so I wrote a post and I said, did y'all take that any type of negative way? People like, girl, people was going to depict things how they wanted to depict.
Right.
They said, when I read it, I never took nothing negative from it. I took it as if you was sharing your truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell sometimes your purpose could be your purpose, but sometimes it could be something negative to somebody else.
Right.
Today I'm going through it. Like, was that a popular?
But just like you said, if some people are going to take it negative, and it's simply just not for them.
Yeah,
right.
Right, and I had to keep feeding myself.
That's a lot of,
that's what you're doing, because I feel like you got more positive than negative out of it.
Right.
And not only positive, you was helping other people. Like, that's a break. You breaking chains right there.
And that's the thing, and I think that's my purpose. But I don't know if it's really my purpose, because of all the people that I'm surrounded by. That ain't ready to break the cycle. That ain't ready to break the chain.
That don't got nothing to do with your purpose. Just
gotta keep going.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of what the quote is. It says something like, the purpose or the calling on your life causes other people's demons to be disrupted. So when you go forth and you start talking and you open up your mouth, it starts getting people antsy. And I never did understand that, because some certain people, and I feel like I'm pretty cool. I do have a nasty attitude and I can say some nasty things, but I feel like overall I'm cool. But it's some people that when they get in my spot, they get antsy and they can't. And I'm just like, hey, well, what's happening? And we can be the coolest of friends. I have one individual, they just always wanted to be up under me, like no matter what. I mean, if I get a relationship, y'all gonna know who she is. But anyway, always wanted to be up under me. Always, hey, come on, like your sis, hang with me. But they would literally take shots at me, like, oh, you don't know how you this, but you can't even keep up with your phone. How you this, but you losing this, and how you that, and you doing this. Like, how people following you and you doing this.
And this is the thing. This same person who called me today,
right?
I've heard, like, you be careful, because they be talking about you behind your back.
Right.
Dude, it's a man.
Yes.
That's a real problem.
So it's him.
Right. So today, like one day he called and he was like, what's your fake, this how he answered him, like, what your fake entrepreneur doing?
Oh, that's disrespectful.
That was shade, right? So I'm like, nothing, over here just being a fake entrepreneur. entrepreneur. You know, like, you know, I played along with it.
Yeah.
But then it's the same person that's calling, telling me that what I'm doing is just for popularity and it's just for life. That's social media. And I'm like, but I help people.
Because not only that, they want to be. That's the problem.
There's individuals that really
be. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, there's individuals that really want to really want to support, really want to, but I feel like it's a spirit. It's a spirit that lights on them like, not all the way. Because they're not fully healed themselves.
Right.
So what you got to do is just make sure you put on your full armor when you're around that individual. And I had to separate myself from this person. I still do my duties that I'm doing with. I still pray and I intercede. But as far as having her in my space, I can't have that because that demonic presence that she has, it goes for my jugular. And I don't have time to be coming out of my spirit to curse you out every second.
Right.
Why I gotta keep cursing you out? I mean, come on myself. I gotta come. And there are individuals that get in your space, want to see what you're doing, want to see if it's really real or not, and then they poke at you.
Right.
And it's like, what is that about? But we know that we're not wrestling with flesh, we're wrestling with spirits.
Exactly.
Period. So that I would speak from my own and say that's what that was.
And
sometimes do something good.
I had seen a post and it was like, you know, you don't have to be complete to feed into people.
No,
you know?
don't.
And I was thinking to myself like, yeah, that's true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a person that want to break generational curses. Right. I don't want to be my kids suffering from the same thing that I was suffering from. So I feel like my purpose is to let that out there and like show it. Like even if I post something like, I think I post three syrups, all different type of syrups, and I was like, I grew up on this, but I went to the store and I wanted to try different stuff because I wanted to just see if I liked something different than what I grew up on. But that's something people, and then everybody posting like, I never thought of that, but I'm only gonna eat ancient. Well, just only eat that thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to try all three of them so I could pick for myself what it is that I wanted to do. So I feel like my purpose is to just let people know that it's okay to be a free thinker. It's okay to have a mind of your own.
You're
you know what I'm
opening
saying?
other people's minds.
Yeah.
You're giving them a different perspective of how they can look at things. They don't have to just go off how they grew up. Like,
and I don't know if that's my purpose or not. I just feel like I like doing it. Like I like telling people that I tried something different and I liked it. It wasn't.
I think sometimes too we think that our purpose has to be big.
Yeah.
It's like your purpose could be simply like a janitor.
Yes.
That could be his purpose. It is his purpose. If he enjoys it, if he loves it, if he knows that the purpose is to help keep the place, if he understands his position. Someone that mows the lawn, that's a purpose.
Yes.
Right.
And we can look at things, and I'm saying titles, but you guys know what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
But we can look at stuff and think because it's on we look at it as a small scale.
Yeah.
We act, people would think that it's not a purpose. Like everything is needed in this world. God made a space for everybody to serve. Together we conquer something.
Right.
And so I know where you're coming from because when I was trying to figure out my purpose, I was trying to put a name on it. Like, well, what is this that I feel, and then how can I get better in it? But I don't really know what it is. And then I began with just serving. Like I like serving. I started there, and then it started growing into more. But I think that for me, I struggled with. But what is that though? Like, is that even something that people want? I know I do it, but then is that really something that people really want, or is that just something that make me feel some kind of way? So I think that some people think that the purpose has to be so huge and it has to touch a lot of people. No, that janitor touched those people that come there every day. Like, I don't want to go in no nasty bathroom.
If they listen, it's a problem.
If they miss it,
it's a problem.
But that is his or her purpose. And so I think just starting with what Kels was saying too is to figure out what you like, and then just what you do effortlessly. But then also knowing that it don't have to be big, because when it does get big, then that is the popularity part that starts interfering with the purpose, because it doesn't have to look that way. It doesn't have to have a spotlight on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that it's just, and then from there you grow into it and you be intentional.
Let me say something really quick. Do you think that just because you enjoy it, that's your actual purpose? Because kind of like what Bridget was saying, where she started off with saying like, I don't like people, but yet she's called to serve people. Your purpose may call you to a place of uncomfortableness.
Right.
You feel me? And what got me thinking this way is I was reading the Bible, right? and it was with a prophet. God called him to talk to these people, tell them something, and it was such a burden on him because he did not want to do it.
Right.
So now I'm just thinking, like, we may not enjoy what we're called to do, yet and still we're called to do it.
Right.
You feel me? And that's why I was saying earlier, you have to actively seek for it and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Because it's not going to always make you feel good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like you were just saying, you know?
I was like,
It's not going to always make you feel good, but you have to be so sure that this is what you're going to do, that no matter how you feel, you still going to get it done.
I think you grow into it, though. I still think that you grow into.
Yes.
Yeah. At some point,
eventually,
and at some point, Bridget's like,
right.
This is all right. You know, like she's, you know what I'm saying? And like she said, there's an emptiness in her when it's not done. You know what I'm saying? So I think you do get to that point, but I think that's a good question. Like
I do think you eventually, you have to be okay with it at some point.
Because if God called you to do it, it's not just for you. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I was trying to tell him, like, I don't think that I was put here for personal use, for Mika. God didn't place me in this world for Mika.
Right.
He placed me here to serve other people.
Right.
So he like, this is what he said over the phone. You know, I don't care because I only care about myself. We're different. I wasn't placed on this earth to just be personal. I was placed on this earth to serve people. And I know that. Because it's in my attitude, it's in my personality. This is who I am. I didn't come to, God didn't put me here for me to be by myself.
right.
I talk too much. I like to see people. I say hi to people that I don't even know without me even thinking it consciously. I know that I wasn't here to sit right here and not say nothing. I know that. I could not even sit down without saying something.
How long have you known this person?
A long time.
Are you guys close?
Yeah.
She's just growing.
No, and I absolutely understand and get that. I feel like it's going to be another time that he come at you with something else. And I feel like you should pray for him in that area. Especially.
And it was really too much for me because he was like, because you know, I don't be caring about, you know, and I called you because I care about you. And you know, he was like, and I'm like, well, thank you. But I don't feel the way that you feel. I don't look at it the way that you look at it. I didn't pull out anything negative from it. I pulled out something positive from it. So
I think that he secretly is looking up to you, or he's looking up to you. And I feel like the example that you're setting is spirits and demons in him that is not sitting well with you. So they're going to try and trigger you to where you will get emotional and your focus will be distracted.
I was crying on the phone, like,
so like, and
then it was like he was getting at me how he called, like, why the F would you post that? And I'm like, what?
First of all, you don't even know who the other person is, or do you? But even if you did or did not, how are you?
No, what it was when I wrote it, I basically explained to her why I was treating her the way that I was treating her.
I've seen it.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was basically taking it as if that's personal. You don't supposed to tell nobody that. You need to go get help personally.
He is not your dad.
This is what Jasmine's response.
But I think in his mind, now that you said that, in his mind, it's kind of like he's trying to shield you. That's what he think that he's
trying
doing.
to protect her.
Yeah, he's trying to protect you
in
his mind, because he's like, because you did say I was abused. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to do.
That's what I chose
he's
to do.
trying to protect you from people knowing. He's like, why are you putting all of this out here so people know, but you don't care, but he do. And that's how people who, because at first I was about to be like, but I was like, God, like, show me, what do I need to tell her? But because I was on the same verge of Jasmine or whatever, but I was going a little deeper than that. But I'm like, okay, God, like, what is it? But he's trying to protect you.
I can get with Bridget.
That's what he was saying.
And he really is. In his mind, he thinks he's protecting you.
And I was like, I mean,
but his perspective, but you got, for him to understand that he don't need to protect you in that area, you would have to tell him that your testimony is being used about what happened to you.
And he told me that's not something you should be telling people.
See?
You need to go get it.
And that's the part. That's the part he don't understand.
And I was like,
so
we two different. I see it differently.
Because it's certain people that be like, oh, what's said in here, you won't never say it out there, and that's the type of person he is.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why he's doing it.
And then as I'm talking to him, I'm telling him, I said, we are two different people. You probably could cope with yours the way that you're coping with it, and I cope with it the way that I cope with it. I said, I understand, and I thank them. Thank you for calling me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's not how I feel about this situation.
And for me, what's interesting is I was just thinking about it, because I've always been a certain type of individual, but until Tiffany Haddish, don't laugh at me, until Tiffany Haddish said she was an energy producer, when she said that, I jumped off the couch and was screaming. I was like, dog, I could have been getting paid to be an energy producer. That's me. Anytime somebody need the MC, whatever it is, like, that's just me, a big ball of energy. I'm like, if I would have known, I would have been getting paid, y'all. Y'all don't even understand.
You can still do
But
it.
I'm like, y'all hire me. Y'all hire me for all of this. Hello, welcome to Brandon with Trey. Y'all know what's happening. Hello, this is Mika Me. By any means necessary. So what else do you need? But yeah, that to me, I was like, oh wow. But so often, I know, like you said, breaking generational curses, it's certain things you try to fit under. You're like, okay, I need to fit under this. Like, I need to fit under that. I looked to my mom and my dad, like, okay, I need to fit here. But as I got older, I realized I don't need to fit nowhere in between there, because I'm a glitter sparkle unicorn. They don't know where I came from. They like, where this color, this glitter, this flamboyancy, where did this child come from? But I realized I'm me, and I attract who I attract.
Right.
So that's the part in purpose and versus popularity. Just be you, and the people that you attract is gonna be who you attract. And I had to learn that your vibe attracts your tribe. And I couldn't be more happy with the women I'm surrounded with on these couches, and the women that I'm responsible for in my connection group, and the women, like, period, and the men that I'm surrounded by in my life. I'm happy for everybody that I got, and I'm glad I dropped the dead weight that I had around. Because, like I said, Tamika, it's people that are interfering with your purpose because they are the naysayers, and the Satan has put them in your group. Just because you grew up with them don't mean that they need to stay there, and just because you family, you don't need to tell them everything you're doing.
Right.
When you starting whatever you starting, sometimes you need to be silent. I had so many people yesterday. I started my t-shirt line, y'all. The real deal. I had so many people hit me up yesterday crying. Like, Kels, you've been moving in silence. Where my shirt at? And I'm like, oh, people really messing with me. They messing with your girl. But it's like, you have to get silence and get into yourself, and not look for the people to follow you. But then when you put it out there, then they gonna follow you.
Yeah, I think that's important too. Like, knowing who you are, that's very pivotal, because when we look for our purpose, sometimes we try to attach ourselves to things that are popular. So it kind of dismiss who we are, who we're supposed to be. For me, my purpose was, it was confirmed through people, like, because I did it naturally. I would naturally encourage. I would naturally just give stuff away. I would naturally style. And people are like, oh, are you a stylist? Oh, are you doing this? Oh, are you in fashion? Oh, are you in... And I'm like, no, this is just me. So then one day I'm like, get your life. You could be out here doing big things. You know? So I feel like when you know who you are, you're true to who you are, it makes it a lot easier to get through anything that tries to discourage you or detour you. And it gives you a lot more power to strive through, knowing that regardless if she accepts it or not, this is me. You know, this is me 1000%. So even if you don't agree with it, that's fine, by all means. I'm gonna bow out gracefully. The people that are supposed to be here are gonna get whatever they're gonna get from it. And then based on what you was talking about, I feel like, you know, we give people the opportunity to grow with us. And if you choose not to grow with me, then that's your choice. But I can't continue to put my hand in the back of me. Like I said yesterday, my feet are in a forward position. I can't walk forward and look backwards. So at this point, it's about me. You got to be selfish. Like she said yesterday, sometimes when it's about your purpose, you got to be selfish. And people are not going to be receptive to it because they don't understand where God has you or what space you're in. And those people, those demons or spirits or whatever that are coming for you, I think God is just using that as a testimony for you to decide, am I going to walk in this confidently? And am I going to be true to me? Or am I going to let them take me off my gear?
Repeat that again.
Okay. This is Share Your